Hello, welcome to the J Powell Show. I'm your host, J Powell. Today, we're going to tackle this 150-gallon marine salt aquarium. I've got driftwood that needs to be sunk to the bottom with some slate rock. Alright, so it'll stay at the bottom. And I've got some other decor pieces I want to add, clean the filter, and just give it an overall sprucing up. Alright, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Now, welcome back. Let me show you some of these pieces I have here that we got to straighten up. And this is some driftwood I stuck in there. The only reason it's sinking at the bottom right now is because the rock is attached to it. Alright, there's a couple more pieces back there. Alright, there's one piece right there. And then there's a long piece right here. That's going to have to have some slate rock attached to it because it won't sink. Another piece up here at the top. I'm going to attach the slate rock to that too, so it will sink to the bottom. We're just going to do an overall, I don't have anything in mind really, but we're just going to do an overall redecoration on the rocks and this driftwood. I got some other decor pieces like some plants, some fake plants and stuff I'm going to add to it. Right. And that's a seashell that my neighbor Katie gave me. It's from the Bahamas. There's a piece of coral back there and a sand dollar right here. All that's from the Bahamas that she gave me. And she said she knew I had a tank and wanted to add to it, and thought I'd like it. I do, so I got it in there. She also gave me a starfish, and I put it in there. And I don't know what happened, if it just broke down in the salt, or if it was the fish in there just ate it up, or what. It just turned into like 5 or 6 pieces of crumbs. Here's a look from the top down into it. You can see this piece of driftwood. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to go take it outside and probably drill a hole in it. And that way we'll have it ready to attach the slate rock to it and submerge it. Same with this one. Some people have luck getting it to sink in like 2 or 3 days, soaking it in a bucket and that sort of thing, and putting it in there, but I had no luck at all. It was in there for a week and still floating at the top. So I'm gonna move those 3 pieces around. They got slate rock attached to it. Keep them down. I'm gonna move my live rocks around. The seashell, that little piece of coral, sand dollar. And then we're going to start redesigning and redecorating this thing. Go ahead and pull out all this stuff, put it in my bucket. Now we have to look at it, get a better idea of what we're going to do. When I first set it up, I wanted to actually make it a coral reef tank. Have all the live rock, attach all the coral to it. Live rock is $100 for the rock. Pull out these go ahead and sink them down, and we'll go from there. I just got back from attaching the slate rock to this driftwood. I'm going to show you right here how I did it. Was you know, I got the slate rock, drilled a hole in it with a masonry bit, and drilled a hole, you know, through the driftwood also, and all I had was white zip ties. Would got black zip ties, but you know, I'm a big proponent of using what you got, and all I had was the white zip ties, so that's what I used. I'm gonna try to find a way to cover that up once we get in the tank. Actually, I didn't put that in right. The zip tie should have went through this hole right here. I drilled. You can see it right there. I just realized that I went around this. You can see a lot of that zip tie. If I just get it right there, then you don't see that much. That's gonna make a big difference. Let me fix that.
All right, that looks somewhat better. It's not perfect. That right there had to be on the top because I had to attach 2 or 3 zip ties together just to make it around. But anyhow, I think I can get that covered up with some grass or something. So we're gonna try to get it in the tank and see if it's gonna sink. Oh yeah. It's like a kind of a sunken tree trunk, but it's the tree stump, but it's acrylic, it's not real. I'm gonna put it in there, and like I say, just you know, just be like Bob Ross. I mean, if you want something somewhere, just put it there, because there's no method to the madness. Getting creativity or artistic ability, now would be the time to use it, but which sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Right now the creative juices are not flowing too good, but we'll see what happens. I'm just kind of randomly placing things in here. I wish I had something to cover up. That may cover up that zip tie. It's really bothering me. That zip tie is really getting on my nerves. It'd be awesome if I can cover it with this. Perfect. That's perfect. I had these rocks. I thought about making a big pile of them, like maybe in that back corner, but the more I get thinking about it, I may just kind of just place them in there in different places. you know, it's there's no universal theme to it. I mean, I got some driftwood, and I guess some of that could be kind of beech wood, but you know, I got the live rocks that would go with your coral, and you know, maybe it's kind of got a little bit of a river theme, kind of a ocean water theme too. So it's your tank, however you want to do it. Just like anything else, I mean, it comes down to how much you want to spend. You can spend enough money and build the whole thing to a reef tank, and you know, be really happy with it. But it's up to you what you're wanting to do with it. And I'm not wanting to spend that much on the design and the decorating. I really want to get into the fish part of it and spend my money there. Kind of left the center open where I can come back with another centerpiece. Maybe a sunken ship or something of that nature. That's a big tank, so the decorations don't go that far. Got this real long piece of like fake moss, and it's the longest piece I got, so I'm gonna go on that end of the tank where, you know, just to kind of, because everything seems to be running down lower this side, so I'm gonna kind of raise up the symmetry of it with this longer piece of seaweed. And as I come this way, I got shorter pieces, you know, kind of tie all that back in, kind of balance the tank. Plus I like to get back there in that back corner where I can hide that return. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a quick look at what I've done so far. And I've got the, like I said, I just put the milfoil in the back right there, covered up that intake valve. It did a pretty good job. I need to go in there and kind of straighten it out a little bit, get it more towards that corner. And you know, I got the tree stump in there. Just kind of sporadically put the live rocks out. And there's the seashell from the Bahamas that my neighbor Katie gave me, and the sand dollar in the coral reef. They did a good job of hiding that zip tie that was on the piece of driftwood. And I put these other two pieces of driftwood in right there and there. And I got some live rock back there, and everything's doing okay so far. And these are the other pieces I'm gonna add to it. So, gotta find a place for them, get it situated, get everything back in there, and we'll kind of be done with this part. All right, I got the last couple of pieces of milfoil added in there, and I think it turned out pretty good. And you can kind of see everything there. It looks pretty good. I got the, you know, the grass in the back, covering up the drain pipe, and then got the live rock kind of scattered in there. You know, everything looks pretty good there, and what I did, I kind of left the center just a little bit open, and it don't look bad right now, but I left it a little bit open to where, like I say, if I'm gonna come back with a sunken ship or some kind of centerpiece that may help tie all that together, then I got room for it, just some little shifting around, and it'll fit right in there. And so I really like what we've done with it here, and let me know what you think. Put your answers in the comments. So next order of business is to get down here and get this filter unplugged and get it out and get it cleaned up and get it back in there. Just going to show you how this thing took a nosedive. It took a serious nosedive. I took the filter out to clean it, and it was a homemade filter, which is a really good filter. It does a lot of good, you know, the filtration part of it works really good, but getting it out and getting the valves turned off without making a mess is nearly impossible. I've tried a couple of times, never have been able to do it, and let me show you what we're dealing with now. That's kind of the aftermath, getting it out and stuff. Had to put that red bucket in there to catch some of the water, and got the filter out. It's sitting in the sink in the utility room right now. But I went out to the shed and got this one. I'm gonna try to get it to work. I've tried before and it didn't prime. I have priming issues with it. That's why I use the other one. But hopefully I can get it to work now. I'm just tired of going through that with the other one. And the tank got a little stirred up. And heavy lights in there, so it kind of looks pretty bad right now. If I get the filter set back up, get everything back in it, I can straighten that up and we'll be back where we need to be. So right now it's pretty chaotic. So let me try to get this situated and we'll get back on. Alright, after a whole lot of work and everything else, I finally found a filter that works. And the thing is, it's the smallest one I have, but doing its job right now. And I'm gonna be able to put everything back together now after I made this big mess. I'm gonna be able to put everything back, let this thing do its job for a while. In the meantime, I'll be looking for a new filter, something a little bit bigger, or maybe an additional filter to go in there with it. The last one I had, I think it just had a bad seal, like a bad O-ring around the canister. It wouldn't prime, and then when I finally got it primed, or close to prime, it started leaking right here, like right where it seals together and locks down, so it's got a bad O-ring. We're back on the upswing now, so bear with me. Okay, so I got the filter back in. I made some progress. Got it back in there. I got everything kind of set up back in here, and starting to shape back up and look a lot better. All right, so next order of business is to get this salt water into here, mix it up, and get it poured into the tank. Also got to put the water conditioner in it too. So it says ½ cup per gallon, so 2½ cups. 2½ cups. Alright, so 1 cup. Got a fish tank done. It's set up pretty nice. It's complete. There's at one point, I almost changed the title of this video of why not to have a fish tank and why not to have a saltwater tank, because I was this close to taking the whole thing down and just kicking it to the curb. But we made it, we overcame, we adapted, and we overcome. So here's what we got. Everything turned out really nice. And now the water's kind of cloudy from the salt water we added back into it. And some of the sands on the rocks, I had to have a turkey baster and knock some of that off the rocks and the driftwood, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. So this tank will clear up in the next day or so, and it'll look good. So I still left some spots open where I can add some more milfoil or even invest in some kind of centerpiece I can put in the middle. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and remember to subscribe and like it, and comment down below if there's anything that you think that I could add to it that you think would make it look better. And I'd like to know your input and comments. And also, if you know of any good online places to buy aquarium fish, I'd like to know that too. What's your best solutions there? So leave those in the comments below. Thanks again, and talk to you later.